morning, everyone. Hold on a second. Looks like one of the cameras is not working. Okay. Well, we are first and foremost is have some yoga nearby some water nearby when you are doing yoga. It will help flush out the body, you hydrated to be able to go through the potential. They tell you even when you get massages and things like that, is rehydrate the muscles. It allows them to actually get relaxed. And so always make sure you keep water. Okay. Now, for all those who are looking for health and wellness or just beginning their journey in health and wellness, I also have a mixture of orange juice and lemon juice mixed together. This is because it is cleansing out the organs. So if you haven't done a lot of health and wellness activities lately and you're feeling really sick or you're feeling a lot of fatigue or sick, citrus is always cleansing out your system. They say citrus is better to drink in the morning because it is excitatory to your nervous system and your brain. So anyone who has like chronic fatigue, people who really have like time with their gut health and seem to have a lot of allergies and things like that. This little health tip 101. Now I'm kind of in some comfy clothes, but that's because we're in the cold front in the USA right now. So cheers. Before getting started, my online yoga teacher training course, my 200-hour certification course, is live on my and you can find it by going to jungles.live and then click on the online courses section in the nav bar at the top. My yoga teacher training course will be based off of this manual that I created. It kind of goes through all of the topics of yoga. Start off with the gunas, the nature. So with that being said, I'm going to start off with the Bhagavad Gita. It is like one of the sacred texts of it's one of the sacred texts of India and often found in yoga practices. This is chapter 17.2, and it is introducing the modes of material nature. So it says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be three kinds: in goodness, in passion, and in ignorance. O son of Bharata, according under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of particular faith according to the mode that he acquires. So, if you want to learn more about the modes of material nature and which one you are operating from, you can comment below. You can reach out to the class. Amazon and order my book, Bend into Shape Yoga, you will introduce the modes of material nature. It is all right here. Now, this book does start off kind of heady, but it is supposed to be supplementary to the online training course that I have on my website, so we kind of fill in the blanks there. But yeah, now let's get started with yoga. Today we are going to do a class designated for the coccyx. For those who do not know what the coccyx is, the lower back. So it's right here where the triangle is. It's where your fused bones sit together at the base of your spine. Now, the coccyx is very, very important for all of our mobility purposes. I had an injury to it several years ago, and so this is kind of my dedication to my healing and my rehabilitation from the injury that I suffered, and I want to share that for all of you guys. Mobility is the most important way to really feel like you are living. The coccyx, again, since it is the fused bones at the base of our spine, it does have a lot to deal with the Muladhara, which is the root chakra, as well as the second chakra as well. So we're really kind of working with the foundation of our being and our existence, as well as our divine creation of things. So first and foremost, we are going to start off in Padmasana. Now, if you guys are new to yoga or have a little bit of practice but are not looking to go into yoga, Light on Yoga by BKS Iyengar is one of the best. And if you go into his you'll find information on the pranayamas as his week-to-week sequences. And then he also has further back curative asanas for various diseases. So if you are someone with chronic pains, I would really suggest yoga by BKS Iyengar, especially for that appendix. And you could be able to create yoga sequences that are strictly for you. So, starting off in lotus pose, for those who can't do full lotus yet, you can always start off. Just make sure that you are bringing the curve of your foot into the curve of your hip. And then you want to make sure that you're like in half, that the ankle is to the knee. Or if you are doing it, but if you can, doing full lotus pose. Okay, starting off, we're going to put our hands with our thumb and pointer finger together. Now we're going to start our pranayama. Just taking a few moments to breathe. Every yoga class, you should just start by seeing how your organic breath is traveling throughout your body. And the process of yoga is gaining the awareness of where your breath is getting stuck or where it is short. That process of gaining the awareness and focusing in on where it is not a fluid is the first step to yoga. As I'm settling into my natural rhythm of breath, relaxing my tongue away from the hard palate of my mouth, creating more room and space between my nasal cavity into my mouth and down my throat into my lungs. As I'm using pranayama, specifically the Ujjayi breath, I'm taking a notice of 5 vayus or winds of my breath. I feel it climb up my front body and release down my back body. In my next breath, I feel my breath move to my extremities and back towards the midline. I feel it go from my head to the bottom of my spine and vice versa. I feel the vayu of air moving around my head. As I take an awareness of these vayus, the air of my body moving around and creating more space. I feel my awareness tapping into the other koshas, the other sheaths within my experience. My breath, it takes me out of just my physical body. My breath brings me into my prana body. But as I grow more aware of where there is resistance within my aura, I move through the lighter, less dense sheaths of my mind and consciousness. Slowly begin to bring movement into my body, bringing one hand to my side, extending the other hand up. I begin to stretch out my obliques from my shoulder down to my hip. I feel the meridian go from my pinky following through my ulna down my elbow, coming into the inside of my armpit and following through the obliques to the top of the sciatic. I stretch. As I inhale, I feel my body come up towards the center line. And as I exhale, I feel myself sink towards my knee. Inhale, And I come to the other side. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale back through center. To warm up that coccyx, we're going to take some movement. To also get into our adrenal glands, we're just going to take our hands and we're just going to slap them from side to side, bringing in small movements. This kind of technique bleeds the line between yoga, brain gym, and meridian psychotherapy, as well as other modes of movement therapy, such as mixed martial arts. Last time, we're going to do a big twist. Hand comes to the knee. The other hand, if you can come to your foot. And doing a complete twist, allowing your chin to go towards the farthest shoulder. Feeling this specifically in the psoas, which is the front muscle on the inner side of the pelvic. With every inhale, I feel myself twisting back more. And every exhale, I feel myself come a little towards the center. This pose is really good to warm up the whole back, to get into even. Inhaling and turn. You can leave your hand behind you if you're grab the foot. Feeling the different sides of your body, awakening your whole entire spine. When you twist, it is really good for the digestive system to do the twists. So specifically for the ascending and descending, I'm switching my stance so that way I can gain the mobility in both hips and I can really work on the psoas and the coccyx. So I'm going to once again come into my little adrenal practice here, waking up the kidneys. And then I'm going into my twist. And the other side. All right, since I've been in this pose for a little while now, I'm going to shift into puppy pose, which is making sure that my hips are in alignment of my knee. Before I do that though, let me help you guys see, for those who do not do yoga, your coccyx is hurting. It is often lower time right down here. Also, if you're trying to sit crisscross applesauce and you can't get your knees on the ground, you might have coccyx pain. Your crisscross applesauce may look like this. Another way to distinguish if you have pain with your coccyx is in being able to sit down with a straight back, crisscross applesauce. You might be sitting crisscross applesauce, but you might be looking more like this. That is another indicator of if you do not have good coccyx alignment. So that's what this practice would mostly benefit and assist, just for those of you who are wondering what it is. Thank you so many of you guys for joining me and being here with me. For those that are just joining, once again, if you would like to be a part of my yoga teacher training, do a 200-hour yoga teacher training course, and actually get to become a yoga teacher yourself, then you can join my yoga teacher training course online. Again, you do that by going to mamajungles.live, and then you press on the online courses tabs. You look for the 200-hour one, and then you go ahead and register for the course. For those that want part online and part in person and would like to do part of that in person section in my land in Peru, just comment below, okay? So we are going through the Coccyx section. Just give me 1 second to go back. Okay, so with tools, if you're sitting like this, if your knees are up high for you, we're focusing most on Balasana. Okay, so nothing really seems to be working. Okay, so we were just in Padmasana, lotus pose. We're going to come into puppy pose, which means our hips are going to be over our knees. For those that want to see the side view to make sure you're in proper alignment, you want to make sure your knees are in line with your hips. You don't want to be sitting too far back, and you don't want to let your hips come forward. We're going to be here. You can come down to your forearms if you are able to, and we're just going to do a couple of pelvic tilts. Kind of like cat-cow, we're allowing our belly to fill up. And then reach the Muladhara. And then we release. Doing these pelvic tilts will help the coccyx. It allows it to kind of sciatic and the glute muscles to kind of pull and shape the hips and kind of pull away from the coccyx. So just doing slight little movements like this while being in puppy dog pose, which is really good for opening up the psoas. Opening up our inner thighs as well. All right. Inhale up just to a typical top position. You can swing your hips from side to side. We're going to do a little twist. Inhale. Our hand comes up. We'll thread the needle. And we're going to bring our other hand around our back. Inhale. And twisting. And now we're going to do the other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, thread the needle. And hand goes around the back for a half bind. Hijo, por favor, que me ayuda con la computadora. ¿Okay? Y la computadora a tu papi y dile que me ayuda con el video, ¿ok?
Help you with this?
Yeah, go tell him to put on the video. Llévalo. ¿No entiendes qué te estoy diciendo? Dile que se pone el video. Llévalo.
I am.
Okay. Since we're doing some twists and we're pointing out the assembly form and then the descending form.
Steven, my mom had asked me, can you help her put on this video?
Help her do what?
Put on this video.
Put on what?
Video.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
This.
Okay, go on the other one.
My mom asked me for this.
I don't know what any of this is. I don't do live streams on YouTube. Maybe that's what she wanted. Here. Thanks.
Don't come in here. If you can't help them, don't come in here. sale de ahí,